let's just deal in the facts of the day. Charlie Curnow doesn't want to be at the Blues next year. He confirmed that at his exit meeting today to Michael Voss and Nick Austin, and then I've confirmed it with his manager in the last hour or so.
Hi, welcome to another update in the Charlie Curnow fiasco. In this update, we're going to go through what was reported to have been said and spoken about in Charlie Curnow's exit interview. We're going to cover the two angles in which this story has been covered over the last 12 to 18 hours. We're also going to cover some quotes from Charlie Curnow. And at the end of it, we're going to continue the discussion. This story doesn't go away, clearly. Now, this is what happened yesterday, according to Mitch Cleary.
Well, Beck, Charlie Curnow has used today's exit meeting to tell the Blues he'd love to explore a move to a new home. And once again, the Blues have told him it won't be happening with 4 years left on his contract at Princes Park. Now, so much so, despite his public answers, Curnow is still keen to look at a move to Sydney or Geelong. If anything was to eventuate, it would need to be driven by Curnow.
So that was Mitch Cleary on Channel 7. Then, in the Herald Sun, John Ralph and Glenn McFarlane, their language was a little bit more pointed. They said that Carlton star Charlie Curnow made it official on Thursday, declaring in his exit meeting that he wants to leave Icon Park. And their first line here is that Charlie Curnow has told Carlton he wants to leave as he shapes as the Blues' third high-profile departure this week, despite the club's hard-line stance that he is a required player for 2026. So what we're seeing here is yet again more of this news spill out. We've now seen through the report via Mitch Cleary on Channel 7 that Charlie's manager, Robbie DeRazio, or management team have now reached out to Sydney players such as Tom Papley and his management to see if they'd be interested.
His management team even approaching Tom Papley's management to see if he would be keen to move from Sydney to Carlton. That was quickly denied.
So apparently there's more tentacles being spread, which apparently also keep getting shut down. But now we're at this point now. I mean, I think I've trusted Charlie's word over the media speculation for the most part. I'm definitely starting to turn now for the first time. I want to take you back to an article at the start of the year, right? And this will open up another avenue of this conversation. So this article was released in the Herald Sun on the 28th of February. And it was titled, "I Just Want to Stop Talking About It and Do It." And the premise of the article was, meet the real Charlie Curnow. So I'm going to read you a set of quotes here from Charlie directly. So the premise of this part in the article here was around Charlie being part of a group of players who have signed long-term deals with the club and are all chasing the same dream. And he goes on to say the following: "It'd be like a huge breakup if someone left. There's nothing been said, but everyone has shown their loyalty. I can't see anyone leaving. It's like your schoolmates. We've been together for so long. It just feels right. We've got to win a premiership. You come through the club and see all the premiership cups. Our last premiership was 1995, and the players that played in that team are held in such high regard. It is amazing to think of our names up there with them." Talking about Koutafidis, Silvani, etc. The list now is a really, really good list. It's hard to not think what it would be like. Every year we say, this year, fuck, I just want to stop talking about it and do it. Further down in the article, the following quotes come up. "There is that unsettling feeling of unfulfillment each year that you finish," talking about finishing short. "And each team would have it, apart from one team who wins it. Football moves so quickly, you never really have a chance to look back and think what's going on." He then goes to talk about the criticism that comes with being at Carlton. "You're less aware of it, the criticism, the older you get. It's something we've been talking about among the boys at the moment. Being in the Carlton Football Club, scrutiny kind of comes with it. You do get used to it. I've learnt that there's always something that will be thrown our way because we are a bigger club. The noise is louder." So, what happened? What happened from February to August? Because reading the quotes there around the breakup, reading the quotes there around this unspoken pact that they've signed long-term deals and they've maybe taken sacrifices. I'm now led to believe that like there's just something is just so wrong and untrue about everything. And it's hard to pinpoint where it's coming from. Obviously, publicly, Charlie said twice now, well, once really properly, that he's staying, he'll be there next year, and he's committed. His management is allegedly leaking this and pushing this narrative around him wanting to explore another club, another state potentially. And I mean, on the one hand, like, fine, you know, Robbie D'Orazio is his manager, who's pictured here. I mean, that's fine, but I doubt his manager would be pushing for something like this to happen without Charlie's blessing. So he's almost like doing it through his management, and it doesn't go away, and it keeps growing legs. Sam Edmund reported this earlier in the year, not long ago. We did a video on it recently. Sam Edmund's not a journo that, you know, he's one of the good ones. He's also a Carlton man. So I don't think he would want to create hysteria if something wasn't really there. Now, not everyone gets everything right all the time, but Sam Edmund is definitely one of the good journos out there. Tom Morris reported on this early in the year as well. And I think I'm finally coming around to the fact that he may genuinely demand a trade. We may need to wait until trade period begins and all the teams have finished playing before we see what happens here. I'm just I'm disappointed. I mean, like, there's that room for the disappointment. I mean, mate, you're a leader. What are you doing? So on the one hand, I have that disappointment to Charlie, but I'm not forgetting this is also a club fault. It's the Carlton Football Club that had this environment. Like, something's gone wrong with the environment at this club or the decisions at this club that has just clearly blown up this year. This year has become, obviously, the year of revelation, where the truth's coming out. And as supporters, it's so tricky to navigate through because you want to believe that everything's okay, or you want to believe that the players are committed. They tell you all year that they're committed. You're almost told not to get too angry at the club and not, you know, create too much noise and hysteria. But like, how could you ever trust what's going on and what's coming out from club? The disingenuity has been a theme of the fan sentiment for a very long time. And I don't think this story does any help to that. Now, Charlie being a leader, I mean, if he wants to leave, and if any player wants to leave, so, you know, you open up that discussion. We've spoken about it here a lot. Leave. Go. That party's fine. Get the deal done. Obviously, you want to get maximum value. But what's worse? Forcing a player to account and to stay, and them having a year where you can just see their body language is not in it, or making a trade, whether you know, quote unquote, win the trade or lose the trade. I don't think if we trade Charlie Curnow, we win, period. In terms of the return that X player or X pick would give Carlton. But what we would gain is clarity around, hopefully, everyone who is on the list in 2026 is fully committed. And I think that's more important at this point than having guys that are being held ransom or being held hostage at some point. The part that really disappoints me is how quickly it seems to have broken down. So Charlie hasn't officially requested a trade, but he has told the club that he doesn't want to be at the Carlton Football Club in no uncertain terms. The way it's reported is weird. There's the other avenue as well. Have Carlton told Charlie, hey, or some of these players, we're going in a different direction where, I don't know if the word rebuild gets thrown up, but we're going to reset this place, reset the contracts, free up cap space and do it all over again and clean up the books. And, you know, would you be part of that? Would you be willing to help us get that sorted? So there's a number of avenues that this conversation could go. I would like some clarity from the club around this because this isn't going away. And if this really isn't true and Charlie just does want to stay and the media have just been pushing this narrative, it's pretty dark. I'm resigning to the fact that Charlie wants out. And yeah, there's only so many reports of this that you can read and see. And I mean, I don't think the media would really keep pushing this line of he wants out if it weren't somewhat true. But the details of how true it is where I'm a little unstuck. I don't trust the media. I do not trust the Carlton Football Club. I did trust Charlie and his word, but now I'm not trusting that either. So now we're living in this world which is where we've been all year, really, with 2025. Mistrust, disingenuity. I don't believe anything at all. So we'll just play it by day as the reports come out. I guess we'll just keep adding layers to this story. But the reality is Charlie has come out on a number of occasions and said he's staying, and it just doesn't go away. That's the reality. So what do you make of the official word that in Charlie's exit interview, he told the club that he would be interested in exploring elsewhere, and actually told the club? Get your thoughts in the comments below. We'll go from there.